Following some of the conversations I've been having this week on LinkedIn, I wanted to really demonstrate the power of the SIMSY MCP and the kind of intelligence it enables whilst removing the technical hurdles of using some complex mobile tools. So what I'm going to show you today is enabling remote access to a router using Claude to set up a device that's connected to it. But there's no special tools, there's no VPNs involved. It's just using our SIMSY network and some of the tools we've got on board. So those of you who use Claude will recognize the interface here. I'll quickly show you the SIMSY MCP tools we've got. We're adding to these, so keep an eye out. There'll be many more intelligent ones, and if you're looking for something in particular, let us know. There's the list of tools. Let's show you how this works. So my router is a Teltonika TRB140 modem. So not actually a router, it's a modem, but it does the same job in this case. Let's show you how that works. Hi Claude, can you give me access? And that will now allow me to do that. So it's going to go off and find it. Here we go. I've now got a secure URL with a randomized string, so it's not going to be repeated. If I click on that and open the link, lo and behold, I'm into the router interface. Now if I log in, so I'll put my username in, add my password, I can log in to the Teltonika router through my web access URL that's been created. I can add security to this. I could have told it the IP address I'm coming from, and only that would be allowed. Or I could have put an additional username and password in front of the router username and password. So if you didn't have that, you wouldn't be able to even access the router page. So there's additional security on board. Anyway, so I've now got access to my Teltonika. I will now go and enable port forwarding on the firewall. So here we will do a new port forward. We'll call it event cam. And I'm going to put in a random port. I'm going to use 3001. We'll then need to choose the IP address. So that's the TRB140. This is the camera that's attached. And then I want to rewrite the port to port 80. So where are we? Port 80, there we go. And so what that's going to do is put a port forward. I'm going to enable that. So if you can access the router on port 3001, that will then add you. So those who do port forwarding will understand this very easily. Okay, so back to Claude now. We've got access to our modem. Please can you add another web access but on port 3001. So we've now got a different URL. If I click on that URL, open the link, and I could give this to somebody so I could make this secure. I'm now into the camera system that is connected to the router. So very, very simple, very easy to do. What I'll do now is I will go back to Claude so we can see we can adjust the camera and do any setup. I will say, please remove the second web access, and that's all gone. So what does that do? We've now got no access. That URL now resolves nowhere. So we've instantly closed the door. That's no longer available. However, we do still have access to the Teltonika modem.